भारतीय जनता पार्टी ही है जो माफियाओं को जेल के सलाखों के पीछे बंद कर कर रखती है और कोई नहीं कर सकता। मित्रों, भारतीय जनता पार्टी ही है जो जात पात देखे बगैर हर एक का विकास करती है।
This is what Amit Shah had said in 2002. The Home Minister had assured the nation that no gangster will be spared. Under BJP, all gangsters will remain in jail. And in the mission to ensure a crime-free India, the NIA continues its crackdown on the nexus among terrorists, gangsters and drug dealers. Up till now, the NIA has registered several cases and conducted multi-city searches in over 300 places. Now the NIA has launched an all-out attack on gangsters, terrorists and this entire ecosystem. Mind you, it is under Home Minister Amit Shah that for the first time, gangsters and terrorists have been seen at the same level, to be treated at the same level. Not localized crime versus a crime intended to try and break the fabric of India. Those working in cahoots with terrorist or terror networks or drug cartels should be treated as terrorists, not just as branded as gangsters. Now, this is perhaps the boldest step that's been taken. But before we tell you more about the NIA crackdown, have a look at how this entire gangster terror nexus operates. And this is as per the NIA itself. We're quoting NIA sources, our investigations editor Manoj Gupta getting us all these details. Now, the first aspect is the financial link. It is easy money for the crime syndicates to work with these drug cartels and these terror outfits and networks. The global network of terror groups, that is what is using these gangsters. These groups are based in Pakistan, UK, Canada and some other nations. This entire radicalization exercise, it also helps the gangsters because these brainwashed youth, you can weaponize them, use them to your instance, and those who are already part of gangs, they already know how to use weapons, they already have a criminal bent, brainwash them a little and use them to your advantage. A lot of them are now finding it easy to recruit because these are largely some jobless youth, social discards. They become easy recruits because they are also looking for quick money, the quick buck, and ready to do it. Targeted killings. This is another aspect where take out certain factions, certain netas, businessmen who are perhaps on the hit list of these crime syndicates, or at the instance of these terror networks. They do this so that there can be a certain amount of social strife, unrest that can be created. And of course, the extortion network stands. Lastly, it is also about the arms and ammunition. This entire network is used to arm and also execute attacks. So it will be a gangster's flunky who will be handed a rocket launcher to fire, but it will be done at the instance of a terror network. So the firing at a police station would be done by a flunky who belongs to a particular gang, but it is being done at the instance of a terror network or a terrorist outfit operating from outside as well. So this is how these networks are working. And of course, narco terror. The aspect when Hawala crackdown is happening, laundering is being made difficult, demonetization is happening, drugs are now becoming the new currency. We'll get you so much amount of drugs, you market it, you make the money, but you do the job for us. So this narco terror angle also, these gangsters are getting involved. Now to our CNN News 18 exclusive as for the NIA sources. NIA sources are telling CNN News 18 that gangsters are mostly working on behalf of terror groups operating out of Dubai, Pakistan, UK. The source is also revealing that these gangsters are constantly working on behalf of secessionist groups who are operating out of the UK. The NIA sources are saying prominent leaders, singers, businessmen are on their radar and they want to terrorize the local system in India. NIA during its investigations has found that outfits like the KLF or the Khalistan Liberation Force has very close links with Arsh Dalla, who is in touch with gangsters in India and is allegedly involved in the planning of targeted killings. The NIA has also revealed that the likes of Lawrence Bishnoi, Goldie Barar have all got links with banned organizations like the Babbar Khalsa International or BKI, which is very active not just in the UK but also active in Canada and the US. Now, Bishnoi, Lawrence Bishnoi, Goldie Barar are also accused of many murders, including the murder of Pradeep Kumar, the follower of Dera Sacha Sauda. NIA also reveals that Lawrence Bishnoi allegedly facilitates, and it is Rinda who carried out the RPG attack in Mohali. See, the gangster network, gangster flunky, Harvinder Rinda sitting there abroad on Pakistani soil or in alien soil, orchestrating and instructing this is what needs to be done, and this flunky fires the RPG at the Mohali police station. Investigations revealed that these gangsters have fled to Pakistan, Canada, Malaysia and Australia and are planning crimes from there on Indian soil. NIA sources also reveal that gangsters are arranging money via hawala, via extortion and of course the drugs. NIA is constantly raiding gangsters and their associates in Delhi, Haryana, Punjab, NCR, and these crackdowns are only intensifying. Now, in these crackdowns, the NIA is filing cases against even hawala operators who are turning these gangsters or who are helping these gangsters, and many of them have also been arrested. We have also accessed the NIA's action plan. This is the big exclusive. How are they cracking this gangster-terrorist network, this complex web, and how it actually plans to break this entire ecosystem? First, let's look at financiers. They're going to attack the financiers, hawala operators. That's the next one. Then you have the gun and weapon suppliers. This is the next part of this entire complex web. Logistic support providers, these glorified OGWs. Harborers, that means those who are giving them shelter and they are making a quick buck on the side. Then the legal aids, those who come up promptly to ensure that anybody who gets caught gets bailed out, gets out of the system and then vamooses out of the country. And of course the social media managers, those who are going to amplify the propaganda on social media. So their job directly, indirectly, very harmless, but they'll create a certain propaganda and create a mood which will amplify or aid, help the machinations of the gang on ground. So this entire ecosystem, they want to dismantle. The NIA is working very, very actively, step by step, and each one of these wings or webs of the ecosystem are going to be cracked down. So far, what's been the action till date? There have been searches in 360 places in 6 phases. Over 6 phases. What's been the seizure? 423 digital devices, 495 documents, 2 vehicles, 1 generator, 40 arms, 1129 munitions, 4 lethal weapons, 27 pistol body parts. All of this has been seized from those people seemingly who you would otherwise not even touch because you would think yes, of local crime. It's not. They're all part of this organized gang web. The action that's been taken, 34 accused have been arrested. 7 accounts have been frozen. 10 properties have been attached. 3 of them have been seized. And 2 people have been declared among the designated gangsters. 2 have been declared. And the proposal is actually with the MHA for 8 more gangsters to be designated, declared terrorist or those who are aiding, abetting terrorism on Indian soil. What's been the crackdown? 25 non-bailable warrants have been issued. 24 lookout circulars have been issued. 2 red corner notices have been issued. 1 mutual legal assistance treaty has also been signed. So this is the impact and the level to which the government of the day, along with the sleuths, the investigative agencies, wants to break this entire gangster terror networks, drug cartels ecosystem. Hemant Tatri, senior journalist, is joining us, and Shashikant, former DGP Punjab, joining us. Significant, perhaps a never before, Shashikant, this kind of crackdown at the level, the scale, and of course the width that we are seeing, because this is multi-state police and task forces in working in cohesion with the NIA, who are actually cracking down. And we've seen it in the last 6 to 7 months. Would you say this is something which is unprecedented?
Certainly it is unprecedented, but to start with, I'd like to compliment you. The way you were spoken about it, you've given the entire gamut, how expanded it is and what all is therein. My hats off to you. First of all, please accept my compliments, sincere compliments on this fantastic resume you said.
Shashikantji, I thank you.
Highlights, but it covers the entire gamut.
But in all humility, I would like to pass the commendations to this entire team which is working on the right stand.
Yes.
And of course, our investigations editor, Manoj Gupta, they are the ones who deserve the credit. I have just read it out or said it out here. Please go ahead.
Indeed. But look, now what kind of gangsterism we have here? It is not short of terrorism, organized act of terror it is. They are doing exactly the same things which terrorists have been doing, lying low, and now they have achieved a second arm in the shape of these gangsters who are all over. And the worst part here is that these terrorists can be identified sooner or later, but these gangsters who are emerging every other day, they just are, nobody knows about them. Who's going to take up the gun? Look at the case of Musewala. I'm again referring to that. The guys who had come, 19-year-old kid, he knew how to fire and he was perhaps the most daring. And whatever criminal acts have taken place, now I'm talking about both the gangsters and terrorists, as also other ruthless criminals. Most of them have been youngsters. Yes, whatever NIA is doing, fantastic. They have listed out a number of countries. They have probably forgotten something like Thailand and Dubai are the major hubs now, because my friends in intelligence agencies tell me that these are the places where they are trying to sort of organize and try to bring these persons here, because our country has treaty with a number of the countries, and these persons who are doing it, Canada is different somehow, the other Britain and US is different, but wherever we have this our treaty, and we should expand the gamut of treaties also, because this is one evil which cannot in any way be tolerated. I say it's worse than any organized terror network, because I said that terror network there can be identified, but these guys are just roaming around incognito. They are just just hiding anywhere. So I think that you mentioned absolutely right, and NIA is going on absolutely right path. This is the way this thing needs to be curbed, and probably this initiation is fantastic, and I'll also say my hands off to the NIA team also, sir. Thank you.
No, but is this enough, Hemant Atri, or is this perhaps just the tip of the iceberg? Is this going to break or crack the ecosystem? Because I remember when this Lawrence Bishnoi gang was being cracked down, there was a 100 square kilometer radius where this gang was operating. And in that they had targeted all youngsters. Youngsters who were shooters, who were wanting to aim for nationals, Olympics, etc., Asian Games, but they couldn't make the cut. They caught these people and trained them to start becoming sharpshooters.
No, Anandji, see, nowadays what is happening around is, this is surely not a law and order problem. This is something much beyond it. See, whatever NIA is doing, it's doing a fantastic job as far as within the country is concerned. But the real issue is the terror groups operating from outside. See, there is an international system of Interpol. There are many agencies working in this country. There are local police, then there is the NIA.
Right.
Then there is CBI.
Right.
CBI is the nodal agency which coordinates with Interpol as well as the other countries' police and law enforcing agencies. What is happening around is there is something very serious that happened during Musewala's thing. You know, Punjab Chief Minister, Mr. Man, he said in Gujarat somewhere, along with Kejriwal, while they were campaigning there. What he said, you recollect? He said that Mr. Goldibrad has been arrested somewhere in US. And I told you that very day that there is no such instance. He is not even being interrogated, or for that matter, he has not been even taken to custody. The real issue, Anand, is something beyond that. The issue is that there has to be a coordination within the country from the various state polices and the law enforcement agencies like CBI as well as NIA. And then there is a coordinated effort with the countries with whom we are having an extradition treaty.
Right.
And then again, extradition treaty, what does it mean? It's a long drawn process. You and me, whatever we keep saying, can we bring back Goldie Barat? Or for that matter, those many KLF people?
Right.
And many others who are sitting in Malaysia, they are sitting in Dubai, they are sitting in US, they are sitting in Canada, Australia, and so many places. The real issue, Anand, here is that we have to expedite all those extraditions from those countries by preparing very strong dossiers against people like Goldie Barat and many others. See, they are not only into K2 project. They are in many other projects also. For example, as you rightly pointed out, what has happened as far as drug trafficking is concerned? It has become a new menace.
Yeah.
It is a money minting machine. And who is involved in that? These are the small-time peddlers here, the unemployed youth. So as far as I think, Anand, there are two aspects of it. NIA is doing a fantastic job, no confusion about it. Your team is doing a wonderful job again. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
The real issue is, Anand, it has to be a multi-pronged strategy. As you rightly pointed out, and as we have been discussing in Sidhu Moosewala case also, see what is happening. They are catching these small-time gangsters for big tasks.
Yeah.
There were 3 people from Haryana who were under age 18, less than 18. They were minors. And they shot him right on the temple.
Correct.
Why? Because they want to become very famous within no time. They get this prominence that this is the man who killed Sidhu Moosewala, forgetting about what is the outcome of it. So the strategy here is there has to be a better coordination. Then Amritpal instance also needs to be taken care of, that there has to be a better coordination between intelligence agencies also. And third part is, again, I'm coming to, and we keep referring to it, you and me, there is a socio-economic part of it also. Unless and until Punjab government, bordering areas and all those areas, NCR also, Haryana, Rajasthan, Delhi, if we leave our people unemployed, our youth unemployed, and they don't have any better opportunities, they will certainly be attracted for this easy money, Anand. We have to take care of that part also. Why these youngsters are coming to this part? They are simply coming because they have not any profitable employment. So there are various aspects to it, and it needs to be taken in a holistic approach. One part is tackling with crime, fantastic. Second part is bringing back all those Goldie Barat like people who are sitting abroad and claiming day in and day out. Third part is to give these guys, all these guys, these criminals, to bring them to the book, number one. Number two, no more, recruitments are being made from jails.
Say,
no more cars
point
are
number
being made from jails.
Point number 1 and 3, I agree with you, and I'll go to Shashikantji on that. Point number 2, bringing them back, extradition and all of that, we can make sure that they are rendered useless wherever they are. That's also possible. They can also be very conveniently rendered neutralized or rendered useless in terms of their machinations as far as India is concerned, and the state has to do it very smartly. So that's another point of view there. But Shashikantji, how do you think this can be stopped? See, because the last point what Hemant Atri said is interesting. Most of this operation ran out of jails. The recruitment happened from jails. The entire operation was running from inside Tihar jail.
Yes, of course. Again, I'll compliment Mr. Atri that I've been listening to his things. Look, first talking about extradition. In 2013, Punjab and Haryana High Court had ordered extradition of 13 persons who were drug dons from Canada to India. Now it is 23. 10 years have passed. MEA was involved. All these other ministries were involved. But those extraditions have not taken place. But some other countries, like Malaysia, like your Thailand, they are more cooperative. So they have been getting these persons. Now, like you mentioned, it's a complex problem. The first issue is that every other day, these new youngsters are coming up. And if you want to control these youngsters, there has to be a certain amount of deterrence. As on date, there is no specific law to say that these persons who are indulging in gangsterism, and which also is another name for terrorism, they will be strictly dealt with under law. I personally feel that education, employment, etc., they are slightly difficult things.
Right.
Amending law is not all that difficult. There has to be deterrence. Democles' sword has to be hung upon these persons who are joining every other day.
Jay.
And yes, you rightly mentioned prison houses are the dens, major dens, because these guys who are sitting there, they are free, empty mind is devil's workshop. They work out everything to absolute perfection and they try to implement it sitting in the jail. Again, my question, like I, as a police officer, believe in death pens. How many persons who were in charge of the prison houses have been taken to task for having permitted these persons this way or that way to indulge in this crime? Whether it was or any other thing.
Yeah, I think the laws have also got to be amended as to how you punish those who wear the uniform and who abuse the uniform, or who disrespect the uniform and who work with these in cahoots. Mere suspension transfers is not enough. There has to be something far more. They also have to be treated as criminals. I think that step also needs to be taken, because there needs to be a deterrent for those who think they can get away with it too. Shashikantji, Hemant Atriji, thank you very, very much for your time. Great conversation there on a very, very important aspect. This is